Hey, welcome to the car second. My name is Jimmy Prater. I'm a car close. That's what I am. I close and close and close. I close car deals. I close them, gross them, right? Because we really don't like customers. We really, truly don't like them. However, we're told to like customers if we work in a market bubble. If you work in a populated area part of the United States, you're working in a market bubble, probably owned by majority of conglomerates, right? You can't find independent stores there, right? Unless you go work for a non-franchise store, which I highly recommend you do if you are working in a market bubble. See, people that work in a market bubble for years after years after years, even decades, if they get up and transplant themselves to an area where it's not as populated, would fall flat on their face. They get all of their information from 20 groups and trade sources. The industry trade sources that they give you either through a magazine or they get it online. It's just pure propaganda. It's all a bunch of bullshit. Have you ever seen a general manager walk up and give a sales meeting reading from a piece of paper? They read from a piece of paper because they're not creative enough. And to be a closer, you got to be creative. Closers have a technique. Closers have a process. But if you are working for a conglomerate, you're a clerk. That's what you do. They want you to be a clerk. They don't want you to close. They don't want you to gross. They don't want you to gouge the eyeballs out of customer. And they damn sure don't want you to hold back on a trade-in. They get offended to having a conversation about that. I call these people weasel nuts. General managers that work inside of a market bubble are weasel nuts. They say the business has changed. It's not changed. You know what's changed? The only thing that's changed is you salespeople making less money every year. Salespeople, you are in poverty wages now. If you are working for a conglomerate inside of a market bubble, you are working for poverty wages. You got to get up and leave. If this general manager tries to convince you to stay, bitch slap the general manager. Say, hey, you're done with their lies, done with the propaganda. Because they live in a bubble. They only know what they know inside that bubble. They also try to convince other people around the country that their clients are smarter than other customers throughout the United States. It's not true. It's not true. See, it don't matter how smart you are and you're buying something, if you get caught up in the web, you get caught up in the process, you're going to buy the car. Because people buy from people. They don't buy from machines. They're not buying from machines. People buy from people. See, this is what these weasel nuts don't understand. Because, see, they can't get on the floor and close a car deal. Their life at home is in shambles. They're not real, true men. And if you're a lady, you do the same thing. You just talk behind everybody's back. You think by talking behind everybody's back and you start rumor after rumor after rumor inside of a little tiny little store, that's your world. That's all you know. You think that's going to get you somewhere? Well, it probably has. Amongst other reasons why you got to where you are as a general manager, ma'am. Now, you take a guy that does that, they kind of got the same tiptoe personality. They don't like the car sharker. They'll never like the car sharker. They can't handle the car sharker. The car sharker reminds them of their father. Their car sharker reminds them of a man who they could never be. That's just what it is. Now, salespeople and closers, what are we? We're street smart. We're from the streets, right? That's who we are. The car sharker understands closing. They understand, we understand there's a process to a close. There's a process to the sale that leads into the close, that leads into the finance problem. But you got to know how to desk. And when I talk about finance problem, it's actually a finance process. The problem is that a lot of these stores are getting rid of the finance departments. Turn it around. It's not like turning a ship in a pond. You could turn this thing around on a dime if you really wanted to. Salespeople, this business is fantastic. You can make a lot of money. But you got to get to the right store. You can't be in a store that's in a market bubble. You're never going to make any money. You're living on poverty wage. Salespeople, if you go to work today, or you go to work tomorrow and you wonder how you're going to eat, you know you're in a bad situation. You got to get out of that situation. You got to go work somewhere else. If you know another salesperson that's down on their luck, other salespeople, closers, help them out, buy them lunch. That's what we do. We help each other out. We buy each other lunch. We help each other by not snaking their deals. But if you're working hourly, you don't really care about any of that stuff. You're selfish. You're taking money off the table for the other salespeople. Salespeople, closers, listen up. We got to stick together. We got to fight together. And we got to do another thing together. We got to close every damn car deal we can. If you're working for a conglomerate, it's time to say goodbye. These executives are making millions after millions after millions. Look at, Google it. Look it up online. Take one dealership, one conglomerate, and you can find out what the executive makes. It's all public knowledge. If they're on Wall Street, it's all public knowledge. Now do something about it, salespeople. Do something about it. It's time to leave these stores. Now, if you like anything in this video at all, you like it at all, go ahead and like it and share it. If you don't, perfect. Leave a nasty comment. I'll battle you. You know what I mean? But you know what? I'd rather you call me. Be a man. Just give me a call. I'll give you my address. It's right there on my website. You can check it out. Come on down and see me. But don't be a punk about it. Don't be a punk-ass bitch about it. Because I call you out for being an ass licker to the other dealer. You know when a dealer walks through? Your tongue's hanging out. Your tongue's hanging out. Because you're an ass licker. Now, salespeople, closers, do yourself a favor. My name is Jimmy Prater. Go close something. Yeah!